So I'm not condoning or telling good men to lie, but helping women and good men to understand that as women, you'll hear this many times today, that we are not emotionally mature enough to handle the responsibility of knowing the truth. So how do we understand that both as women and good men and find what works in the relationship? It's not good or bad. We literally are wired differently, and we literally live in two different realities. Good men must know you cannot trust your wife with the truth, and yet there are times you are going to need to share the truth, and we'll talk about how to do that for good men and how as women to handle that. But good men need to see the reality of their wife and understand the dynamics in your marriage so that you are not duped by your wife, that you are supposed to be completely transparent, which is what we gaslight you to think you should do, but you can't. And this is for us as women to understand our differences, accept them, and find a path forward in the marriage that works. As I shared, I'm not emotionally mature enough and in my wiring as a woman to handle all the truths my husband might tell me. And I have a very, very honest husband that knows, and if again was with me today, would tell you he overshares. He's an oversharer. He knows that. And I have to embrace it to make me stronger, but I can't always handle everything he tells me. And there's plenty that I would rather not know. And when we can embrace that and know that about ourselves as women, we can get out of our fantasy and wrong thinking that we need to know every little thing and every deep thought or fear or feeling from our husbands, and embrace our differences and find that dance and actually create a safe environment when something does need to be shared, that we can put on our big girl pants, find the emotional maturity in us and work through it and not weaponize it against our husbands. 5 reasons a good man should not be honest with his wife. And knowing that there are caveats to this and not condoning lying, but understanding our differences as women and good men. Number 1, women weaponize the truth and vulnerabilities of their husbands. We will use a good man's vulnerabilities and truth as ammunition as to why our husbands can't be trusted, which results the response of a good man to his wife, knowing his truths and vulnerabilities are used as ammunition against him, is why he begins to hide things. It's a protective mechanism. It is not a malicious path to hurt his wife. An example is telling your wife about your past mistakes, even before you met her. You think it's a safe place to share your past, maybe mistakes you've made, relationships you've had with women, and you will share thinking that it's okay to do so, and your wife says, yeah, you can share that with me. And then we store it and we use it as ammunition against you in a multitude of ways. Tell me the examples, men or ladies, how you've done this, and men sharing examples of how this has happened in your marriage. That helps normalize these issues for each other to know we're not alone. The second reason a good man should not be honest with his wife: your honesty and vulnerability will be perceived by your wife as hurtful and wrong for who she is. So, for example, a good man is a problem solver. He would like to share with his wife his challenges in the marriage and relationship and his experience of her. And some of you listening have done this by sharing a video or two with your wife. Say you bring up to your wife, you don't listen to me. meaning I share with you what I'm feeling or a problem I'm having, and you don't hear me, and you're not willing to do anything about it, and you just make me wrong. You tell your wife that in a kind, calm way to try to work on the issue, and then we will turn that around and take it as a personal attack and perceive that you're telling us we are wrong or defective in some way. And then we'll go into total crazy making mode and turn it back onto you and make you the bad guy of why we do the things we do, which then a good man gets sucked into that, gets gaslit thinking that there's some validity to what his wife is saying, and the issue gets turned back on him and things he needs to change. A good man will try to change those things, and his wife still isn't happy and is still making him wrong and bad. The third reason a good man should not be honest with his wife: women conflate what you do and associate it with something totally unrelated. And again, please, the men listening, share example in the chats or comments of how you've told your wife one thing and then she turns it into a totally separate issue and conflates the truth you are telling her. And we will say, if you did this, how can I trust you over here with that? And just blow it up to be so much bigger than what it is. I'll give a couple of examples, and I tried to think of, kind of the bigger issues. And again, tell me what you experience in the comments and chat. Maybe you share with your wife that you went to a strip club once with some buddies, and she gets upset and says, well, if you did this once, how do I know you're not doing it now? Or if you did this, then how do I know you're not cheating on me with other women? And we will totally conflate that. So I have another example from a student who his wife was constantly on him about what he ate and his diet. And this is like a healthy guy, physically active, reasonably healthy, but he liked to enjoy an ice cream from Dairy Queen once in a while. And he also liked some Oreos once in a while. And his wife would fly off the handle if any of those things were in the house. And this was like a pretty stout guy. And I also remember him sharing, like, his wife would make him lunch, but only make him like half a sandwich with a little side of veggies, and then get upset when he wanted more to eat and would get something to eat. But he used to hide Oreos. He would hide Oreos in the trunk of his car. So when he wanted an Oreo, he could have them without his wife being on his back about having an Oreo every once in a while. And she conflated that of, if you're lying about this and hiding this from me, then I can't trust you with anything. What else are you lying to me about? And that's how we conflate the issues. Number 4 of why good men should not why good men should not be honest with their wives: telling the truth makes you a liar in her eyes. This one really, to me, was a total mind F. This is what we do. And I had to see this in myself. Again, why I was late coming on today, I had to see these things in me in a deeper way than I have before. Telling the truth makes you a liar in her eyes. Isn't that just crazy? So, example, maybe you were scared to tell your wife you were going to go away with some buddies for a couple days to go hunt or fish, and didn't want to face how she would make you feel doing that. And say you've got a business trip. So you tell your wife, I've got a business trip these couple days, but you're actually going hunting or fishing with your guy buddies. And then you feel bad. You lied. So you tell your wife, I'm really sorry. I told you this, but this is actually what happens. And you tell the truth. And then she makes you a liar. Well, you're a total liar. What else are you lying to me about? So telling the truth makes you a liar in your wife's eyes. And number 5, why a good man should not be honest with his wife: we twist your truth into our victim story as why we are so unhappy. We twist your truth into our victim story as why we are so unhappy. So in this one, we might pretend we are okay with what you share. I'll give an example in a moment. But then we use it to weave it into our victim story to blame you of why we are so unhappy. But a term I use, happy pill it, meaning stuff it down, shove it, pretend everything is okay, and never tell our husbands how we feel. But we use it to tell ourselves, this is the reason why I'm so miserable. This is the reason why I'm so unhappy in my marriage. And it might be maybe, I know I've got a million examples of this, but and this one was like down to the wire and I was having to work through some things. But when I came up with is maybe your husband or man is honest with his wife that he doesn't enjoy going to her family's events. And he'd rather not go to all the family events, maybe even something like Christmas or a family reunion or a gathering. And a woman says, oh, okay, that's okay. I can understand. That's fine. But then she weaves it into her victim story. He doesn't like my family. He's not involved. He doesn't do anything with me. And we never tell our husbands that we're not okay with it. But then we use that as our wall of blame against you of why we're so unhappy. So again, please share some examples in the comments and chat. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the Happiness Program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.